Hey single plane golfers and motorrun fans, today I have something pretty exciting for you, but I got a question before we get started. What if you could practice perfectly? Well, if you did, you'd have to know the exact model you're practicing. Today I'm going to show you my 3D model for the single plane swing. So what I want to introduce you to today is a model. Now, those of you who don't know me very well, welcome to my channel. This is a Single Plane 3D channel today. We're going to be talking 3D metrics on a golf swing. If you're interested in Mo Norman or the single plane swing, please subscribe below because I talk about Mo Norman's golf swing, but it is a model. And what I mean by that is, what does a model mean? Yes, I try to put you in to the closest positions possible to match the exact positions and movements of Mo Norman, who is regarded as the greatest ball striker that's ever lived, but there is science behind what I'm teaching you here. So what I did was about 3 years ago, I went into the laboratories and I started measuring things, right? What do I mean by that? Well, the body, when you study the body in 3D and how it works, there's obviously positions, there's bends, right? This is a bend of the body. When you bend, this direction is a bend. That's one axis of movement. There's this axis of movement, which is what we call side bend. That's another axis of movement. There's side bend. And then there's obviously rotation. There's this rotational movement around another axis, right? So if you're studying a golf swing in all of its dimensions, you're seeing it in all of its axes. So here's my question. Can't you, if you know the metrics of a model, can't we put our body into the same metrics and then train the exact same metrics, in other words, practice or move in the exact same way as the model, and then learn to do that and swing like Mo Norman? Well, that's exactly what I did. I have what I call my 3D system here. It's single plane 3D. Single plane 3D is my model in a software where now I can put sensors on my body and train perfectly. Because just think about it. As a coach, my goal is to get you to practice perfectly. Because this is where coaches, I think, run into a lot of problems. Is they might give you a lesson and then you leave the lesson and they have no idea if you're practicing correctly or not. So today, I'm going to show you my model, I'm going to show you 3D, and I'm going to show you how I practice perfectly, and my students, we have over 150 students now training in these systems, how we have them practicing perfectly as well. So what you're seeing here, and I'll go ahead and launch the software. I'm going to go ahead and train into the software. I'm going to launch the program. What you're seeing on the screen is an avatar. And this avatar is basically upper body, lower body. So you're seeing the pelvis move around. I'm going to go ahead and put the pelvis sensor on. These are very sophisticated sensors. They're from fighter pilot helmets, and they measure within to a millimeter of degree of movement. So you're seeing how my pelvis sensor is now placed on my sacrum, just below my belt on my sacrum. Okay? Sensor placement's pretty important on this. This is the neck sensor. I'm going to place this. This is a garment that you basically wear, and it goes, this thing is fitted, so it goes onto the middle of my back, right between my shoulder blades. You can see on the screen that I'm almost in good position, but you can see that I'm kind of moving around quite a bit. So what I'm going to do now, I have two sensors on my body, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell the system exactly where I am. So I have a target line here, and I'm going to basically stand and calibrate to this target line. So my software allows me to do that.
Calibration in 3, 2, 1. Calibration complete.
And notice what I did there. I stood straight up, took all the metrics out of my body, and it took my avatar and put it in a straight up and down fashion. So now I just taught my system where my body is in ideal position. And now, here's what you're seeing on the screen. Pelvis, the turn of my pelvis, so that's the rotational turn of my pelvis, the bend of my pelvis, and the side bend of my pelvis. Upper body, you're seeing the turn of my upper body, see that? You're seeing the bend of my upper body, okay? And you're seeing the side bend of my body. Now, on that left side of the screen, now this is my software. that says, okay, Todd, look, on here I have ideal position 0, which is my address. Let's just go see if I can hit address and watch what happens. See that? So everything turns green. See the model there? Everything's green, and every metric is within my ranges. So what I just did there was I put my body in the proper position, exactly like Mo, and it gave me that audio tone you hear is biofeedback. Watch what happens with the arrows. If I'm incorrect, you see how the arrows aren't correct? Now watch when I adjust, watch the arrows. Okay, so that's what we call biofeedback. When I go from an incorrect position to a correct metric position, I get biofeedback. This is what I consider the most ideal form of training, because how many of you can guarantee me you practice perfectly? Well, probably none of you, unless you have a coach standing there or you know exactly what you're doing. If you're not using video, you don't know. So most people, and the reason golfers aren't getting better in today's world, the technology is all here to do this, but everybody's out there just whacking at golf balls and hoping to get better, and they're trying to play the numbers game. Can I hit enough golf balls to become adequate at the game, right? All right, so now let's go to the next level of this. So I just showed you how I actually do this. Now I have every position of my swing in here. I've broken the swing down into basically 7 positions. Address, position 1, position 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'll go through every position with you. Why did I break the swing down into positions? Well, here's the thing. I believe that if your body must learn how, the body doesn't work, and this is some of the stuff you see me put on the channel here on YouTube. The body isn't a go this direction, go this direction. That's what happens in a golf swing. But when you start looking internally at a golf swing, that's not what's going on. For example, in the golf swing, when you go to here in the backswing, and watch the metrics of look at the metrics of this position right here. This is the first move of the swing. The club has moved maybe 2 feet, right? The upper body has turned 41 degrees, and my pelvis has turned 28 degrees. I'm going to go to the top. I've only turned at the top of my swing close to 80 degrees, so half of my torso rotation occurs to position 1, but almost all of my pelvis rotation occurs to position 1. So this is what you see happening, is certain parts of the body are moving more than others, right? That's what's going on. And most people feel like everything's going together. That's what it looks like is happening, but that's not what is actually happening. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to link up, because I don't want to, you guys are just seeing, I'm just introducing you to how I train and how I perfectly train people. These are the positions of the swing. I'm going to link them all up. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and link these up. All right, starting at address. Here we go. Link them up. 0, 1, 2, 3, impact 4, extension 5, finish 6. So now look what I just did there. In my software, I have every single body position, which is complex, because in each one of these positions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, I had to have every single metric of my body correct. So what happens now, and this is, as a teacher, I'm telling you that if you can't get in the proper positions in slow motion, you certainly won't be able to do that when you add speed and stability to the body. So now think about this, and I'm gonna end it today with this, because there's so much to these 3D systems. I can't go through everything with you today in this 10-minute video. However, now that I have the positions, what you can do is, once you see how I can do reps, so this is like doing a workout. I can literally do 100 reps if I want to of every swing position. Just think if you're practicing perfectly like that every single time you practice. That's number 1. Number 2 is I can start taking out things. So let's say now I'll just go 0 to 2. So watch, I'm gonna make this dynamic. Dynamic training means I'm gonna I'll take out position 1, and I'm gonna link them up. Now, I have to go from 0 to 2. So now I took out position 1, see, that made it more dynamic. There's a lot of variables I can change in the system to get you practicing perfectly. There's a model here, the single plane swing model. This is Mo Norman's golf swing in a 3D system. You put sensors on your body, you train the positions, you do repetitions, you train it so you won't forget it. The only way you know is to do this. You repeat it over and over again. You get direct biofeedback. In other words, this machine's telling you if you're correct or not, and now you're practicing perfectly. And here is what I'll leave you with. My goal as a coach is to help you speed up the process, right? Practice perfectly and speed up the learning process. That's my goal as a coach. That's why I design systems like Single Plane 3, and that's why you see things like this. Now, if you don't have a 3D system, let me just give you a little bit of a video I showed you a few months ago. How can you work on your swing positions without a 3D system? I showed you my broomstick video. We created a product, which is the single plane trainer here. All it is our training grip on a stick that's long enough to give you an extension to your lead side, and watch. You can go position 0, 1, 2, 3, and then back to impact. You shouldn't go past impact with this. So there's other ways, by the way, to train these positions. I just want to show you this. If you don't have a sophisticated 3D system, we have other ways at Graves Golf that we teach you to train. Make sure this winter, because I'm indoors right now, it's cold outside in the next few months, don't stop playing golf, don't stop practicing. Make sure you're doing this type of work indoors and get stuff accomplished this winter so when you go out next spring, you're in golf shape. And that's the goal. Thanks for joining me today.